I think it's safe to say that I'm quite the Farming Simulator enjoyer in my spare time. I've played the franchise since Farming Simulator 15, so, well, yeah, since 2015 when I got my first Xbox, and I've pretty much never been bored of it. I've always been buying like the newest versions of the game to play. So obviously, as you would expect, when the new Farming Simulator 25 was announced, I pre-ordered the Year 1 pass and I waited. Oh, game's out. The game finally released on the 12th of November, which is 3 days ago as I'm recording this, so I spent 3 hours installing it because I have slow Wi-Fi, and I finally got into it to take a look at the game and just to see if it lives up to what Giants have so far showed us. To sum it up, I'm impressed. The game looks great, it still looks really nice, and it's still probably just as fun as all the previous games, but obviously there are some issues, there will be. The game's new, so I'm expecting the issues to hopefully not last very long, but today I'm just going to go over some of those issues. Most of these, well, there's pretty much two issues that I could, like the main ones that I have, because I've only played like a few hours on the game, so I haven't looked in every single corner of the game to find every single glitch. I'm just going to show you the main and the most noticeable things that I noticed pretty much as I started playing the game, which are mostly graphics and performance wise. So to start, the visuals. Although the game looks great in itself with all the nice graphics and the cool sun rays and stuff, there are a couple of things that definitely need work, such as level of detail. So I'm sure you know what level of detail is. If you don't, level of detail is basically the way that a game renders objects and terrain depending on how close you are to that object. So, for example, if you're close to something, the level of detail is going to be very high. It's going to render it in more detail because you're so close. You need to be able to see all the small details in that object. Whereas if you're far from the object, the game will render it in lower detail because it's so far away. And because of it being so far away, the game doesn't need to render that much, so it can focus more on the stuff that is closer to you. So it makes the game look better, and the game doesn't run at like 5 FPS as a result of that. Along with that, Farming Simulator games have always had some interesting levels of detail and depth of field, to say the least. And no, I won't go over what depth of field is because I don't want this video to be like 6 hours long. Overall, FS25 looks great, but the visual glitches do let it down a bit, in my opinion, because they can be quite noticeable, and the level of detail, especially because stuff that's really close to you, like you might see it in this footage a little bit, or I'll put extra footage over it. The like you'll see the terrain in front of you just go to like 3 pixels per like tile. It looks so weird, and it keeps doing it. Like wherever you're looking with your camera, it just keeps on doing it, and it is just so annoying. Now, another thing that I noticed with FS25 is something that I also noticed in 22, and I've seen quite a lot of reviews about this same problem through across both games, and so it's not necessarily due to my PC, it's also happening to like everybody else. And if you've played the games, you probably know. If you've played 22 or 25 for that matter, you probably know that what I'm on about, and it's obviously stutters and lag. Since FS22 released back in November 2021, there's always been this persisting issue of optimization, and both these games, FS22 and FS25, have some pretty big issues with random lag spikes to the point my game just completely froze for a good few seconds. And this wasn't even with recording or anything. The only other thing I had open was like Steam. That was about it. It would just freeze and stutter, and it does it all the time, especially in first person. It can get quite bad, and it is really noticeable, to be honest. And I mean, it's weird because this issue was never around since, well, before FS22. This issue was never around. FS22 was the main turning point where it started to become an issue, but it wasn't quite as bad as what FS25 is, which I kind of get. It is just optimization, with it being a new game, it's going to take a while to optimize, but hopefully they fix that. Something else weird that I noticed was I tried to open OBS to record the background footage that you can see now, and when I tabbed out of my game to like go and open OBS, the game just closed because I opened OBS and I tried to like alt tab back onto the game, and it was just gone. I don't know where it went. It just crashed for no reason. So Yeah, weird thing. So I decided to experiment a little bit. I reloaded the game. I closed OBS and then I reloaded the game and waited about 20 days for the save to load because it takes quite a while. And bear in mind, I lost about an hour of progress because the game just closed just for the fun of it. Um, and I tried to open, like I tabbed out again, and I tried to open OBS, and then it opened fine. Like it had no problem, and the game didn't crash. It just opened fine. And then I just recorded the background footage. So it was a weird one-off issue, I get, but that has probably happened quite a lot. I would have thought a lot of people have had the same problem where, oh, like tabbing out the game just fully closes it. And I think I tried to get some footage on 22 for showing like examples and things, and that also just closed. Like it just crashes when you tab out, and it's not even when I open OBS. When I literally press Alt and tab, the game just closes. It's so weird. So they're like the main things that I've noticed in my like few hours of playing the game. I have like literally about 3 hours on the game. Do I like it? Obviously, I do. I do. I really enjoy playing Farming Simulator. As you can tell by the hours, and my Steam hours are probably a lot less than my Xbox hours across 15, 17, and 19 on Xbox. I'd say on Xbox across those games, I probably have upwards of 400 or 500 hours on all of them combined because I used to play them all the time. They were like the only game I'd play for like a year straight, and rightly so because they are fun. But yeah, just the newer games are just a bit, they need work. Like 22, obviously they're probably not going to do much to 22 anymore, but at least with 25, just devs, please, for the love of God, just optimize it better because it's so stuttery. Like it gets to the point where it's so noticeable that it does actually just take the fun out of the game occasionally. Which, don't get me wrong, the game's still fun, but when it is stuttering like that, it is just frustrating because you're like, I don't know why, but it is just that frustration when you're playing a game and it's just lagging all the time. And it is weird because the games before, like I said, 19, 17, and 15. I haven't played 17 or 15 on PC. I've only played 19 on PC. But they stutter like they didn't stutter even. They never stuttered. They had like no issue. I could run 19 with upwards of like 150, 200 mods and it would be fine. There would be no issues at all because it was just well optimized and it had no visual glitches or anything. FS22 in fairness doesn't have really any visual glitches apart from there is a weird thing where some objects just unload themselves when you're so far away, and it and when I say some objects, I mean like entire houses. Like you'll be driving along and you'll just see a house in the distance just phase into existence. It's so weird. Which that was never a thing in 19, so I don't know why they need to add that. Like the game was probably well optimized already, but yeah, I mean, it just started from 22 and it just became a weird issue. I don't really know. I don't really know what to say other than that, but 19 was fine. There was no. I could run huge maps, like with over 100 fields on 19, but doing the same on 22 causes like some stuttering, not many visual glitches. But then playing even the base game maps with no mods on 25 is just it's so strange. Like it, I don't know how they've managed it, but no mods on 25 is laggier than 200 mods on 19 or 150 mods on 22. It's weird. I suppose we kind of want to end on a positive. So stuff I do like about the game, it makes it sound like I really hate the game. I don't. I really enjoy it. It's a really good game. The design is good. The graphics are good. The features, I like what they're doing, adding natural disasters, like adding tornadoes. That's the only one they've added. But yeah, and the game in itself is really good. It's just the visual glitches do take away from it a little bit, but it is still definitely playable. Unless it gets really bad. But hopefully soon it'll be optimized. I would imagine the devs are committed and they're going to update it a lot and they're going to optimize it better and there's going to be more mods coming out and it's going to add to it definitely. It's going to bring back what was taken off of it with the glitches that are in the game now, I think. So overall, game's great. Highly recommend it if you're into farming or if you're into the Farming Simulator franchise. Would highly recommend it. It is a great game. It is pricey, obviously. I mean, they're all quite a lot of money, but they are good games. Even if I mean, if you don't want to pay for it, if you have Game Pass on Xbox, you can get 22 for free. So you might as well just do that if you want. if you're willing to get 25, go ahead. It is a good game. I would recommend it. Mods will definitely make it better. Like I'm excited to see new maps coming out. I think Oxygen David had a new map for 22 that is hopefully going to get ported to 25. I hope it does because it looks really, really good, and I really want to play on it. But for now, I'm probably going to play 22 quite a bit. But 25, I'm also going to play probably just the same amount. But I'm just sort of waiting for the mods because the European maps are good. Like all the maps are good. It's just I like when modded maps come out because they're like maps from the UK, which I got the year one pass because the map in the year one pass at the end of the year, like the fourth section of the year one pass, you get what looks to be a Scottish map. Maybe it looks Scottish. I'll put a picture of it on screen if I can find it, which I'm excited for. I'm intrigued to see what it actually looks like what it is, where it is, and stuff like that. What it's called. But at the same time, as well, I am excited for the modders to make some cool maps or bring out some like just cool mods, quality of life mods, or extra like additions, scripts, and things are really good. And then just all the cool stuff that modders are capable of. I'm really excited to see it. So yeah, that's that. I don't know what else to say. Thank you for listening to me yap about this new game. If you are into Farming Simulator, get the game. It's really good. Um, yeah, enjoy maybe some background footage if I leave it. I might not. I probably won't. Thank you. Subscribe and like and yeah, goodbye.